One of the ambitions for Prospect was to really create this big, immersive, original sci-fi universe. While the story is relatively focused, we wanted it to be set against a backdrop that felt alive, that felt rich, interconnected, full of history, culture, economics. A lot of this inspiration goes back to the sci-fi films that we grew up on as kids. Alien, Blade Runner, the original Star Wars trilogy.
The challenge is, how do you do that on a small indie budget? Chris and I are first-time feature filmmakers. You don't get a whole lot of money for your first feature film, and we wanted it to be tactile. We wanted it to be real. We didn't want this to be a green screen movie. All of our designs were original. Nothing was off the shelf.
The only way it seemed like we could really pull this off was to open up our own production design shop. We ended up renting an old shipbuilding warehouse in Seattle and ended up filling it with a bunch of artists, craftsmen, designers, a lot of whom had never worked on a feature film before, a lot of whom were our friends, but they all knew how to build things and they were all creatively passionate about building this universe. So we were really starting from scratch. We had to buy all the tools, set up and install a lot of the electrical and plumbing to make this into a functioning workshop.
I need my coffee before I fix the fuse, and I can't have coffee until the fuse is fixed.
We ordered our own CNC machine, which turned out to be the key for building large sets with a really small crew, because it allowed one person to sit down and kind of plot it out digitally, and then it would be cut out into individual pieces and kind of assembled like a big Lego set.
It was almost as if we were printing the sets, and in the course of a day, you'd have a massive structure materialize.
What was so cool about the warehouse was that it was everyone working together under one roof. You had every department, people making props, guns, helmets, chocolate bars, every single detail of this world being generated in the same place. And of course, because we were doing this all for the first time, we made a lot of mistakes. Jay Duplass's character, Damon, his helmet came in too large. We put it on Jay, and it was way too big, so we actually had to saw a section right down the middle and like glue it together and resize it days before shooting.
We spent 7 months building everything for this film, and then we went straight into production.
Cast started arriving and trying on their costumes, and seeing them begin to inhabit the world we created was really exciting.
So when it came time for production, the warehouse transitioned into the soundstage where we shot all of our interiors.
The Hoh Rainforest is a place that Chris and I grew up hiking and camping, and we always thought would make this amazing backdrop for an alien world. The production crew had to be light and agile. We were in an extremely remote location and had to shoot primarily with natural light.
Our cast had to put up with a lot of unique and particularly grueling circumstances to make this movie. It's frontier sci-fi survival story.
We were out in this forest for 3 weeks with not very many amenities. And we were asking our cast to hike for hours in these hot, uncomfortable suits and these helmets that made it difficult to breathe.
But it was all to support the integrity of the world, to lend it a groundedness that keeps you immersed and engaged, and to forget that you're no longer interacting with reality.
This movie was a passion project for an entire community of people. There's absolutely no way we would have been able to pull this off had our crew, our friends, not been so personally invested right along with us.
One.